early Sunday morning. Well, what am I talking about? It's Sunday afternoon, but it might feel like morning to a lot of people who stayed up late and finished Sebring 12 hours last night. Congratulations to Porsche, absolutely, for the sweep so far of the season in GTP, to Porsche Penske and to Rexy AO taking that as well. I am on my way to Rick Eichhoff's house. Rick is from the Philadelphia area originally, racing with the Wednesday Night Racers, and he now lives 20 minutes down the road from Hobbit Racing Park. And we're headed to his place. The guys from Race Track Scenics were commissioned to build him, well, CNC and now build, a wood-routed track for him. So we're very excited to have another wood-routed track in the area. So the guys actually were at Sebring, and now they are at Rick's place. Still sleeping, as I understand it, because of that late night where I made the joke about the morning versus the afternoon. So I'm going to pick this up on my way in there, and we're going to talk to Rick. We're going to check out what Race Track Scenics has made for him, and we're going to talk to the guys from Race Track Scenics if we can avoid interrupting their labor while we check out what they're doing. All right, we have arrived, as I previewed in my truck while I was driving here, and we are at Eichhoff's. We're here with Rick. Rick is in the group from Philadelphia. You see him all the time on the Wednesday Night Racers on Facebook and other parts around there. And I'm going to turn the camera around, and we are going to see some lovely stuff happening at his place. Well, here we go. He's got the folks from Race Track Scenics here. Everybody was having a grand old time at Sebring last night for the 12-hour endurance, so they're sleeping. And Rick is here, and first of all, I'm welcome to Rick's house. So here's Rick, and Rick is going to give us a little bit of a story about his slot car journey, and we're going to talk about this track.
Well, welcome. This is the new track that we're just getting together, and I wanted to have a wood track so I could test on this wood track. So when I go out to California, out to Electric Dreams, we've got a wood track that's going to be set up similar to their track. It'll have a non-magnetic braid, which is what their new track has. And it'll be all set up for rubber tires. So that's the main reason why we're setting up this track. We have a second home up in Philadelphia, and I have a nice 80-foot Carrera track that Bob Cuss and Mitch and Dash and a couple of guys, we all put it together and we race up there. So since I moved down here to Tampa, Florida to give my mom some elderly care, and we decided to build a secondary track. And so this is the new track. It was a concept that I grew up at Riverside International Raceway when I was a kid. So this track is basically going to represent that track. It's a very accurate representation of what the track is going to look like. It follows the old Riverside Raceway, or I should say the older Riverside Raceway. The Riverside Raceway went through a few generations. And so this is what the track is going to be. It's made by Race Track Scenics. Kevin and his son Casey put this track together. They cut it out and they dropped it off a week ago Friday, and we're ready to start assembling it, painting it, braiding it, and getting it all ready to run. But that's the thought process behind this track. But I mean, like I mentioned, we really want to have a track that's going to be a good test and tune track for when we go out to Electric Dreams and race out there. I mean, that's the big race and the big swimming pool out there. I was out there last weekend competing in the Scale Auto Festival, and we ran the 132 cars. And, it was a little tough getting to grips with the tire combination and the new non-magnetic braid that they run out there. So this track is going to try and have some similar features. And then we also ran the 124 scale, which was an endurance race, and we had a great time doing that. So, I mean, for me, traveling and competing in the big swimming pools is a lot of fun. So that's the gist behind this track, and we look forward to getting it up and running here in the next this week. It should be running before Kevin and those guys leave, and we hope to be all ready to go with it.
And that is awesome. And you sort of started to answer one of my questions. I have not gotten a chance to get up to Michigan, to Mike's place up there at Cloverleaf. I have not gotten a chance, obviously, even to get to the Philadelphia area, to the 2 tracks or 3 tracks that you guys have. But compared to Electric Dreams, this will give you a good baseline, even though it's, again, it's got plenty of GT curves and, and undulations, and then plenty of, but you feel like this is going to give you a really good understanding of what's going on out there on the tracks.
It'll be a good technical track. I mean, it'll have some features that some tracks you don't find have. It's going to have some S curves on it. It's going to have a long straightaway. It's going to have some high speed corners. So it'll be a good combination of to test to see how the car is going to react. So, I mean, it's not going to be a mirror image of what Electric Dreams has, but it'll give us a better chance when we go out there. We'll have the tires that are worked in. We'll have a couple of cars that are all set up, ready to go. So when we go out there, you're prepared. I mean, that's what it's all about, is being prepared when you go to these big races. You have to be prepared. You've got to have 3 or 4 cars, and you test those 3 or 4 cars when you get out there. And then you modify them while you're there and working on the cars. And it's all about preparation. And I've met a lot of great people out there. Walt Baines and Ian Douglas, they're all, great people that have helped us, And so it's a great hobby, and we want to continue to compete in it. And if you're going to compete, you have to have a facility to test. And this is going to be our new test facility.
Right. It almost sounds like you kind of put a car through the litmus test here.
Yeah.
You get a good understanding of the kind of grip you're going to get, a good understanding of the classic things that you're going to get with non-magnetic braids. So then here's the $100 question. Is there any way in between all of that, even though we'd have to switch to rubber tires, is there any way we can run this circuit at some point in time in and amongst all the wood tracks that we race on, as opposed to just using this as a test circuit for those big national races?
We'll be doing some club races here. And I thought that's one of the things that we want to do is, it's going to be a test facility, but it's also going to be a racetrack where we can have local guys come and join us. I mean, I raced competitively down with Sebring slot cars every Saturday down there. And, I was talking to Jim, who runs Sebring slot cars, last night, and we were having a discussion, about when we could get together to do an open test and tune where we can invite guys over, and they can come and run on the track. And then we can kind of figure out when can we, bring it into a club environment and where everybody can come over on a weekday night on a, whatever works, the dates and that's all going to be determined. But the goal is to get it up and running first. And then, we will, decorate it with some of the Racetrack Scenics, products. And, I kind of want it to be somewhat of a showcase of their track. And I think it'll be a neat layout when it's all done. I think everybody will have a nice time racing here. But we used 4-inch lane spacing, so the lanes are equally spaced 4 inches across the whole track. There's no squeezes in it. And like I mentioned, it's going to have non-magnetic braid, and we're going to run rubber tires on the track. Probably not going to run silicones on it. That's, and it also has non-magnetic braids, so it will be a track that has, low grip, but, I think we'll have to really work with that, because that's what they race out in California.
Now, are they treating tires out there? Are you allowed to treat tires?
As far as treating tires, that's kind of something that, everybody's got their secret. And I mean, you can use a combination of lighter fluid and things to wipe the tires down, but, I don't treat tires. I'm running just a rubber tire. Like this weekend, we ran the GS25s.
Okay, I was going to ask you what shore they were.
We trued the tires down, and then we rounded the edges and got them to where it's hooked up, and there's a lot of little bits and pieces, to gluing and truing tires that all come into play. It's an art form in itself, and the more I'm out there, the more I learn from those guys. I feel like I'm in the big swimming pool out there learning. I'm in mid-pack, and it's challenging. So you're competing with the best in the country, I think, and with my background in being a competitive person, I want to be in the big swimming pool. So that's what we're doing, and this is our new test facility, and you'll see it grow and come into fruition. Hopefully we'll have it running in the next few days, and we'll have it up, and I'll have you over, and we'll do a follow-up to this.
Well, that is awesome. This is very exciting. I think this is great. I love the analogy of kind of being in the big swimming pool as my family grows, which is, sad for me to watch my kids leave my house, but also exciting for another chapter. I hope to eventually join Rick and others to get out there. We race at my place locally as a club, and Rick comes over and joins when he can, but the aspirations to do those big national races are very exciting, and I am very excited to put some rubber tires on some of my cars, test them here, and figure out what it's all about. All right, so that was super exciting. You got to hear from Rick right there in terms of what his ambitions are. You know, again, love what he said in terms of kind of the, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know, a little fish in a big pond. But at the end of the day, we all got to start somewhere, and we have aspirations, whether it be a club environment or whether it be going out there and running in these big races. So it's great, and it's great, you know, we're all going to be locally able to take advantage of someone who has run in those big races and has gained experience and gained different tips and tricks from the people he's worked with, and we'll be able to leverage those skills and run them on our own, and then all those of us that might want to go join him. So we're going to continue now, and we're going to talk to the folks at Race Track Scenics that are putting the track together for him. All right, we're back. We're at Rick's again on day 2, and I'm here with Kevin Sharp from Race Track Scenics. And
hi, everybody.
And so he's going to give you the rundown of what services they're offering and how they are hooking Rick up with all this.
So, well, we love slot car racing. We already have a factory to build our Race Track Scenics items. So we decided to start making slot car tracks. And it's been 3 years since we started. And this is our most ambitious project yet. Rick was nice enough to reach out to us and said, hey, I'd like a track, and I'd like to, you know, build a track that looks like Riverside. That's a tall order and a big track, but he had the room to put it in, so we built him one. And we would love to build you one. So my son and I are going around the United States delivering tracks, and if you'd like to have a track, we build it in our factory, designed to your specifications, and then if you'd like, and you're handy, relatively handy, like you can run a sander, I can just send you the road bed and you can put it together yourself. But if you prefer to have us come set it up for you, that's what we'd love to do. And glad to be here at Rick's. So this is probably the beginning of the painting phase. This is the middle of day 2. Day 1, we just dropped off the track and kind of laid it out in his room, got used to it. And then day 2, where we assembled the track. The track came in 6 different sections. We put it together. We pre-assembled several sections so that we could save time. So we've assembled it in his room and tidied up the joints, and now we're going to paint it. So today we'll end with it painted. Day 3 will end with us running laps after we put the braid on.
Can you believe that? That's how fast it comes together. That is just how fast it comes together. And of course, this is all CNC'd, right?
Yeah, it's CNC laser cut. So it's not
CNC laser cut, okay.
It's not a CNC router or mill cut, which it isn't necessarily worse or better. It's just I don't own that equipment, and I know how to use this really well, and I can do things that you probably couldn't do easily with a CNC machine. So that's it, because we were, you know, these are 2 layers, laminated,
thing, right?
Laminated, sure. And the other key aspect is I can make a replacement piece, or I can take the design of all of these pieces and reconfigure it for him later on. So obviously it would take some effort, but the work is not wasted. So we could take, we got all these pieces, and we could reconfigure it.
Well, this is fantastic. I can't wait to turn some laps on this myself.
You'll be surprised. Usually it takes several weeks before track rubber's in. We've kind of got it down. I'm hoping that we did a track with the same paint, and we were running laps on it that night, and it wasn't a skating rink. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't a skating rink.
Awesome. So there you have it there. These guys are really providing full service here, and this is just going to be a fantastic setup here. Really super excited, but I hope to be broadcasting some laps from here in the future. George, you've got a ghost car going right now on Riverside at Rick's. This is awesome. Woo, we even got a little action right there at the hairpin on the infield. Oh, I almost knocked the Arduino on disconnected TrackMate.
Look at it go through the S's.
Look at it go through the S's. I gotta get that. Hang on. That's what I was talking about right there. Ready? Here, I'm gonna do this. Ready? We're gonna get this right here. This is gonna be awesome. Yeah! Oh, our first D slot.
It's still in the slot.
Well, that was just super exciting to see that come to life. And Rick's already put a video out on Facebook where he did a 4 ghost car pack of, I think there were some NSR classic cars out there. I was lucky enough to help them do a little bit of the install of, the track mate he's got right now as the default for that one right now. I was able to help them with the computer setup. I didn't do any heavy lifting, but it was fun. You know, I mean, again, just to be there, to be a part of it. I rolled some braid. It's exciting for me to see that and to meet the guys from Race Track Scenics and just see Rick, just progress a vision that he's had, obviously, for quite some time. So, just more to come on that. Yeah, I mean, I'll try and, do some broadcasts from there and show what Rick's got going on occasionally when he's prepping for a big race, when we run some maybe some club racing there and stuff like that. But just a different thing, a nice thing to focus on the guys at Race Track Scenics. And listen, it brought me back to the days of transferring this track and then, doing some minor, surgery and some repairs and some braid work and things like that. Listen, other than the scene, the laser routing, they brought that whole entire thing there, and within 72 hours, he had cars going around the track, and they have different pricing scales and stuff. I got a lot of things in the description about links directly to their page, but then to their page of the track building stuff, and just, it's awesome, whether you've got a room for a 3x6 oval, or whether you got a little bit of room in the infield to throw something together, or you want something as ambitious and as large as Rick's, Race Track Scenics can hook you up. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out this little channel, doing little things with these little cars. Leave me some feedback. Hit that like button. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Hobbit Racing.
If you don't subscribe to Hobbit Racing, I'll poke you with my staff. Pokey, pokey, pokey.
She will poke you with her staff.
Pokey!